Greetings everybody and welcome back to the Ashes of Creation community plug. I'm your host, the Big Chick Giant, and today's community member is ITSZIZ. How you doing, man?
Good. What's going on?
Not much. Hope you're doing well.
I'm good, man. I'm excited. We're going to talk about some MMOs, my favorite thing.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so first question, same as always. What MMORPGs did you play in the past? What classes did you play, and why did you enjoy them?
Man, okay. So I know we're trying to keep this short, so that's a hard question. I'll say Dark Age of Camelot is the first MMO I really played. But the first time I ever saw an MMO was actually EverQuest. I was at a friend's house. He was house sitting for another friend, and we went over to this other guy's house because they weren't there. And he's like, check this out. And we went to the basement, and it sounds kind of creepy, but they had this huge gaming setup. And this is a long time ago, right? And he pulled up EverQuest, and it was the first time I ever saw an MMO, and I was like, holy cow, this is amazing. There's real people running around. So that was the best first introduction to a game genre. I was it was crazy. I was there's real people, and there's this elf city and all this stuff. So then I started playing Dark Age of Camelot, and my favorite class in Dark Age of Camelot, which had amazing PvP, was the Reaver, which was this melee life-stealing class. It was awesome. I love it. Every class I play, I always try to recreate that melee life stealer.
Okay, nice. So, next question. You cover a lot of content for Ashes of Creation because you're also one of the official content creators for Ashes of Creation. But what is the number one reason why you're looking forward to playing the game? If you would have to pick one reason, what would it be?
I would say this is kind of my number one reason for any game is massive PvP, right? With Dark Age of Camelot, anybody who played that was the original big warfare, sieges, three-way, hundreds of people, right? So, I mean, lots of aspects of Ashes I really love, but the massive PvP, sieges, huge open world battles, that is always my favorite thing in any game, and especially for Ashes, which is why I'm so glad that Alpha 1, the first thing we're testing, are those huge, awesome battles. So I'm super excited for that.
Oh, dude, we're on the same line right there. So let me ask you this, because I think you and me, we have a similar background, and we actually looking forward to the same thing. Are you worried a little bit about sieges and everything? Because in past MMOs, large scale battle always had its troubles. How do you feel about what's coming at us in Alpha 1?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that is something I mentioned in one of my recent videos, is that we kind of have these rose-tinted glasses where we look back and think other games, did it well. But really, I've never played an MMO that had great performance with large-scale battles, right? Even games we love, like Dark Age of Camelot, is considered one of the best MMO PvPs that started this whole three-way war faction stuff. But lag was so bad in that game that people called it lagdar, because you could tell when there was a group of people coming to you because the server and your FPS would lag so bad, right? Guild Wars 2 had culling, ESO had huge, massive problems, right? All these games have issues. So while I wouldn't say I'm not worried about it, because that's always something that I want to be good performance, right? I want them to put a lot of testing into it, and I don't know how the engine's going to hold up, but I'm not particularly worried about it because it's not like it's going to be that much different than any other game. Sometimes it'll be great. Sometimes you'll have some issues, and overall, I think it's going to be fun either way.
Yeah, I agree on that part. I mean, if I get 30 FPS during a siege, I think I'm happy. If I get maybe half a second lag delay, I think I'm still happy.
Yeah, and I mean, if it's terrible, I'm not saying if it's terrible, that's okay. I mean, there is a cutoff point, right?
Yeah.
If there's only 40 people on your screen and you're getting 10 FPS and you're rubber banding, that's terrible. No one's going to say that's good. I'm going to call it out and be like, this is crap. And there are other games in Kickstarter right now that have issues like that, and I say it's terrible. But the assumption, and even if you look at other games that have used the Unreal Engine, have used Unreal 3, there's games out there, you can see footage now where there's 100 or 200 people in a battle with playable frame rates. You know what I mean? Are they perfect? Are they the very best? Well, maybe not, but it's all within the same category of playable.
I mean, it's at least in my opinion, of course, there's some people, they want 60 FPS in large scale battles, but from my point of view, I think that's completely unrealistic, right? What do you
I
think?
mean, it depends. I mean, they have said recently, and Steven said they've been testing with 100, 200 people in the same zone with 60 FPS, and obviously they're testing. So some days it's going to be good, some days it's going to be bad. But one thing I like is that's what they've been focusing on, right? That's been their main focus is back end stuff. They haven't been making, I mean, there's a lot of people complaining about like maybe the combat, right? Well, they're not working on combat, even though they could and they can make it look flashy. And people would say, oh, yay, look how flashy it is, right? They're not worried about people's opinions. What they're worried about is the actual infrastructure, the actual net code, right? Lag. They're working on back end stuff. And that's why this is the first thing they're testing and why that's so great. Is yes, when Alpha 1 comes out, there's going to be problems. That's the first thing they're testing, and they're supposed to have problems so they can fix it. So we'll see. I mean, if it's a year from now and there's big issues, sure, we can call it out. But right now, I think we're on a good track.
Yeah, I agree on that. Okay, last question. What will you do till the game comes out, you know, to keep your interest up and to stay involved with the community?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Obviously, you can check out the Discord. We're lucky because Ashes puts out their own videos, and I know it's not as much as some people like. You know, they want more live streams and stuff, but I think they actually have a pretty good cadence. I've seen other Kickstarters that do live streams every day, and they do updates every week. And the problem is their updates are so quick, so close together. When they update you, it's like, oh, we added a bush to the game. Like, oh, yay, that was exciting, right? I would rather them wait a month until they have a lot of good information. So staying up to date with what they're doing, I think is really good what they're doing. Also, of course, I do, you know, my videos, Ash's Report for News, and I do other videos. Once we get into beta, though, I mean, we're going to start having some more videos come out, some more information. NDA is going to drop. Like you said, I'm a content creator, so maybe I'll get in early, actually get to play and get some footage. So we're actually getting pretty close. We're a lot closer than I think people realize.
Oh, yeah. It's at the end of the year.
I know.
I'm slowly starting to realize that it's at the end of the year when
not even the end of the year. They said Alpha 1 is starting early Q3, and he said early's before November. Yeah, he said before November on the forum. So we're talking October, and he said even possibly end of Q3. So we're talking September, October, and that's for Alpha 1 launching, and there's no NDA. So that's anybody with Alpha 1 package. Before that, they're going to have the content creators in Alpha 0 releasing footage. So we're talking like, you know, 3-4 months away. We're probably going to start seeing some new stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
I'm excited.
That. Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, man. I want to thank you for your time. I make sure to, you know, tell everybody about your great content. And thanks for taking the time to come and talk to me.
Thanks, man. Thanks to all your listeners, and I'm excited to see more stuff from you.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Same goes right back at you.
See you later.
All right, man. See you later. Take care.